Okay, you're live. Wait, you're not live.
Okay. Are we live on Instagram?
We are live on Instagram.
Hello, Instagram.
We're live on YouTube too, but I forgot to turn closed captions
Hi, YouTube.
because I'm a terrible, terrible person.
Just hanging out. Just waiting a little bit. Seeing how this pans out.
Okay, I'll have to turn in one afterwards. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Apologies. We had some technical difficulties, and I forgot to turn. You need to move over this way. I forgot to turn the captions on YouTube. I will add them to the video afterwards. Apologies for that. I know how to do it. I just forgot.
Cool. So, what are we talking about?
We're here to talk about the new or returning AS1s. I'm rolling the sleeve up.
What is an AS1?
It's a shirt.
Yay!
Stands for Augment Shirt 1.
I see.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Does that mean that it goes with anything in the Augment collection?
Not necessarily, but for the most part, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm rolling the sleeve up. Yeah, so we are showing them off today, and we're going to be talking about them, answering questions. We have a couple of pairings that people wanted to see.
For instance, I'm also wearing the Star Warrior vest. So you can see how Instagram can probably see a little better, but you can just see how they play with one another.
Yeah, so the good thing about shirts, I think, is that they go really well design-wise with a lot of the other stuff that we carry. One of the pairings that I really like, sorry, these have production things, not production, but usage. We haven't really had a chance to really pick all the little pieces off of them yet. One of the things that I really like this with is the Fox, which we just released, which I have hanging right over there, and I will go grab.
Okay, great.
I have a question. Is it machine washable?
It is machine wash.
Is it?
Yes.
It is. Which is shocking.
You probably know more about it than we do.
We put the tags in there that they shrink a little bit after wash, so they can be washed.
I think they say that they shrink, what, 2%?
Yeah, I think that's David's number.
Okay. Nice.
Look
that is
okay?
short.
Yeah, so brown and navy, a classic combination. Apologies, the lint all over me. Yeah, the Augment shirts are probably one of my favorite. I like the neckline. It's kind of weird a little bit.
Sorry.
Not weird, but it's a little different. It's got this I think he called it a faux double breast closure or a faux double breast collar, which is probably made up, but sounds good. Kind of folds over itself a little bit. You probably can't see super well on the stream.
You can maybe see on this one because of the stitching.
It gives it some really cool visual interest. It comes in 3 colors. We have Gilded Carbon. I'm blanking on the name. Disciple Blue. Oh my gosh, thank you. I keep wanting to say Traveler, but Traveler's brown. Isn't Traveler brown?
Yeah.
Yes. And then we also have Android White, which we don't have right.
Blue.
Android Blue, which is white.
Yes. Don't get it twisted.
We don't have it here because I just forgot to grab one. But the Android Blue is white with blue top stitching.
Yes, and blue buttons, which is very nice.
And blue buttons, yeah.
Buttons on this one.
So on the website, I tried to do a pretty good job of showing off all of the little pieces. They are very, very fancy as far as shirts go. They've got really nice materials, and they've got 2 different types. You can if you want to take your vest off. They've actually got 2 different kinds of materials on them.
Yes. They have ripstop.
Shoot it, please. Thank you. Yeah, so they have this accent material on the collar, and on the back, you see this nice little detail here. You can try to show this as best I can, and it goes all the way around, and it wraps around to the arm here. And the one that I have on has the same, but in black. And then the Android Blue has white. It's still a different color fabric, but it's got the contrasting blue top stitching.
Yep.
Try to show on the website, so if you go to the product page, you can really see you're familiar with these, so tell us a little bit about, we did have them for sale and then we did it because we didn't want to put them, like we knew it was going to be a long pre-order process and we didn't want to have them on pre-order for a long time. Is that?
Yes, fans of the brand may remember a time when we were on kind of a long pre-order for some of our things. Manufacturing was really backed up and production just wasn't on a clear enough schedule in a lot of ways. So we did actually launch the AS1, oh gosh, sometime last year.
During the summer-ish?
I really can't remember.
For a very short amount of time.
For a very short amount of time. And then it became abundantly clear that we wouldn't actually have a full run of them within a reasonable time frame. So we fulfilled the orders that came in that first little bit, and then we pulled them and saved them. But now they are here, and we do have them, and they're ready to go, and there's no pre-order. So if you order one, it's shipping.
Yeah, which is great because I actually saw someone earlier today that made an order for a shirt, an AV4, and an AH4 Storm.
Yeah.
And I was like, how cool is it that we have all these really nice, really awesome items, and they pair well with each other,
Yes.
and they're all here, and you can just buy a whole collection of them.
You can buy a whole outfit.
Yeah, so it's great. We've released a lot of bigger items, or over outerwear, I guess would be the term. Coats, vests, which are not technically outerwear, but a lot of people wear them outside as an outer layer. The hoodie even, and the shirt just goes really well with all of them. So
yeah,
if you picked up any of those things in the past few weeks, this is a really, really great, and you're thinking like, what do I wear underneath it? It's a really great pairing. Just like the navy and
the brown.
brown.
It's a
It's
good
such
look.
a nice pairing.
We don't have any of the Star Warrior light side in the size we were just wearing, but someone was wondering how you think the light side would pair with some of these colorways.
It would look cool with the white one.
It would look really cool with the white one.
The black and green would be really cool too, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think one of the great things about them, let me roll this down, show off the sleeve details in a second. One of the great things about these is black, white, and navy pretty well pair with everything color-wise.
Yeah. And I like that these are clearly really distinct, and they have the sharp augment lines running through them and the detailing, but I don't think that they are so out there that they're going to visually clash with really anything that I can't really think of anything that they would not look good with.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would look really good with most of the Star Trek items we have.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe some of the more like classical things. So maybe paired with a
Like
rook.
a Harker vest.
Yeah, a Harker vest or a rook might be a little bit.
I still don't think it would look.
It wouldn't look bad. Like these aren't going to look bad with anything. Because the fabric is so nice and it's very like almost reflective. It's got a sheen to it.
Oh, also it is Unifit, obviously.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the fit. What are your, if you don't mind saying, do you know your like measurements ish, just so people can get a rough idea?
Gosh.
You're gonna like do a profile.
Probably not. I'm not sure what my measurements are. I think I'm like a 36 in the chest.
You're a 35 in.
I do. So if it helps you at all, I'm very short, kind of stocky, and I wear a 35 in our jackets, and I wear a 34 in the shirt. So I'm not sure if that helps you at all.
One person is asking if you have your AV4 with you to pair on camera, because we don't have any of the ones
You
here.
don't.
I don't. It's at home. I'm so sorry.
And then the next question is, how does the Augment S1 compare with the Scoundrel shirt? Does the sleeve roll up and button just like the Scoundrel?
No, it doesn't. These are much. Emily just explained this to me yesterday. These are much more difficult to make. They're much more maybe complicated. It's not there. I guess complicated would be the right word. So the Scoundrel shirt, we have some there. Would you mind grabbing one of those, Ellen, please? So the Scoundrel shirt just has a very either of those I think would be fine. The Scoundrel or the Exile, they have a much more
Oh yeah.
Like they have a much simpler
Oh.
hem on the sleeve itself, but then they have this extra little piece with the button and then the strap inside, which obviously adds to the complexity. And then the collar, like Emily told me that I believe these take longer to make, but they're more. I'm not sure they require less like pieces, but
Whoops.
they have their own like level of complication for the.
The collar on the Scoundrel is more annoying to make, but the sleeves on the S1s are.
Okay.
Yeah, so the complexity of the collar in the Scoundrel is traded in for the sleeves of the AS1.
Sorry, trying to button this so that you can see more.
Yeah, so you can see the
difference.
much more simplistic hem. I'll show you mine because it is.
Yeah.
It's probably a little more contrasty, but these have a
Oh, that's
much
good.
more classic, like dress shirt closure.
Yeah.
So they have. Do you know what the technical term is for this? A cuff, and like it's got a cuff here,
I
and then
believe
it's
the
got
thing that comes down is a gusset.
a gusset. Okay, so it's got a cuff, and we'll go with gusset. It's got a button in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yours probably shine really well too. And it's got a button at the top as well. So it's got the double button closure. So it's a much more classic dress shirt. And it's also got the because why not? It's also got the extra like contrasty.
Mm-hmm. Is that ripstop? Is that what it's called? No, never mind.
I don't believe it's ripstop, but it's a textured like it's got like a checkerboard texture to it. It's all the same color, but it's a really neat contrasting textural difference.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody really, I just read a review. Somebody left a review on our website, and they were like, the shirt is so like it's really understated. But if you put this shirt because it isn't a button down. It's got the flat front, which I think gives it a really like nice slimming look. But it's got the same other details as like a business shirt. So I think it said like if you wear this to, I think it was like a conference or something they were talking about. Like if you wear this among other business shirts, it is dressy enough that you won't stand out, but it is different enough that you will stand out. So they were like, be aware, like have your, I think it said have your elevator pitch ready because people will ask you about it if you wear it in an environment of your typical like button downs. What Key had a really cool piece of copy that I think I ended up putting on the website that was like ditch your button down or something like that. Like it's a really cool difference between this and a really nice button downs can be very, very expensive, especially if you buy like handmade ones. So this one is actually relatively inexpensive compared to like a really high end button down because it's got the front closure and the collar.
And I think it's far more, obviously more visually interesting.
It's much, I don't know, it's just different enough to be interesting without being, like you said, so different that it clashes with. I mean, even if you had non-Volante items, black, blue, white, it will go really, really well with maybe a different vest you have or a jacket that you have.
Oh, and I do want to say, just for those of you who might be interested in the white, you don't have to worry about, because I tried one on earlier, you don't have to worry about your undergarments showing through. It is a thick enough material that it's not... You're not going to see your bra or your tank top or your undershirt through the white material, which is good.
I don't know the actual weight of the fabric, but this is a similar fabric to the Scoundrel shirt. We have Ellen off camera, who is sewist slash customer service.
Slash.
Ellen, who is a sewist, so she
Among many, many other talents.
So she
My
knows.
knowledge on specific fabrics is not as great as
No, yeah. Although to be fair, even Emily is like, I don't know, it's just the one we use. So it's really heavyweight fabric. Like Leslie said, it will shrink a little bit. It wears in really well. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about washing them. How they change.
we have a question. Is the Android Blue already sold out in size 34? And I know the answer to that one. We only had one after QC, so if it got bought, but there are a few more that just need a quick repair, and then they'll be up on the website.
Yep. So the size 34 Android Blue will be back very soon. They just need a quick repair.
Well, there was like a piece of thread.
Yeah.
Like a piece of thread caught in a place that you could. Again, this is how extremely high our quality standards are. I guess it was up top. There was a.
It took me 20 minutes to figure out what
Like
was wrong.
this layer, this is technically double layer up here, and it was caught in between a piece of the thread was caught in between the layers, and so because it was in between the single layers, you could barely faintly make out the blue thread between the layers.
Yeah.
So it just takes a quick adjustment to get it out. But
Yeah.
but that's one of the things that gets caught. And if you ever bought anything from like the Rare Finds and Oddities, the types of things that don't meet QC here are
Yes. QC being quality control.
they are like things that other companies wouldn't in a million years ever realize or notice.
But you will be able to buy the 34 Android Blue. Keep your eye out in the coming, I don't know, weeks.
Soon.
Soonish.
We had I think we only had 4 or 5 of them. We didn't have a ton. So, any other questions, comments, concerns? YouTube questions or concerns? No. Okay. So we'll give it maybe just another minute or two and let people ask any more questions they might have. What else? What else can we say about them that people might want to know?
I mean, it's just a damn good shirt. I don't know what
It's
you.
a really nice shirt.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of positioning it as a, I don't know. We want to make it, as with a lot of our other Augment things, we like the idea that they are like elevated casual, I guess you could call them. So we want to keep. So even if we produce more shirts in the future, we want to keep the AS1 at that like kind of the upper level fanciness. It's got the sleeves and then the collar and the the fold here and then the detail of the back. Right, there's something moving outside this file. Trying to keep these like nicer too.
I have to assume you all can hear the nonsense that happens out in the hallway.
We work in a multi-use building, I guess is the name of it. And it can get loud sometimes. Yeah, but no, what I was saying is the AS1, I think we want to keep it, that idea, along with a lot of the Augment things, as being this really like upscale casual, I don't know what you call it, like dressed
from day to night.
Yeah, dressed down fancy, so it's not quite as sort of high-end fancy as the highest-end menswear shirts, but it's way more elevated than your typical, you see this compared to like an Old Navy button-down or something, you can just not even in the same league or realm of comparison. So, one question.
Any plans of a chromed carbon instead of vivid at some point?
Chromed carbon, so I'm assuming with like silver thread. Was that a color that we used to film?
Not to my knowledge.
That would be cool. Cool.
If you mean with a silver thread or with a like light thread, that would be pretty cool. I don't know why we don't. I know people in Discord were talking about this in Blackout, how we haven't made it in Blackout. I'm assuming one of the defining features, I think, of the Augment line is like contrasting top stitching.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that's probably why we haven't made it in a more sedated colorway. Not that it's not sedated, but
yeah. No, I mean that's kind of the story with a lot of our pieces is the contrasted top stitching, and especially the Augment line. You want to be, I mean, I feel personally this may not be the case, and maybe we will do it in Blackout sometime, but I feel that if you're going to go through all of the trouble, because each of these things is an individual cut piece that has to be sewn together. It's not just an applique or anything like that. And if you're going to go through the trouble of having all of these cut pieces sewn together in this really intricate way, I personally want to see that in the top stitching.
And the first time you get when you see this up close, like the accent pieces, I would assume if you're around anyone who knows anything about garment construction, they would probably be like, "Wow, that's sewn put together. Those are actual individual pieces that were cut and sewed together." So yeah, I think that's exactly right. So maybe in the future we might do a different color.
The blue is definitely more subtle because it does have the black.
Yeah, the black top stitching.
But
yeah, I think you guys already just kind of answered this, but any future colorway ideas or colorway ideas that you guys would personally want to see?
Personally want to see. I think something like a mercenary colorway would be really cool. I think a shirt that is the same color as the mercenary accent. I think we call it a Bordeaux or like a port, I think is the color we use. It's like that really dark, deep red with a black top stitch would be sweet.
I would like this in Black Sword.
Oh, with white.
Mhm.
Oh, that would be
Black
cool.
with white.
Even with a white.
I would.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I think that would be pretty sick.
That'd be really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think this would be nice. I don't know. We probably would want to keep it classic enough that it would pair,
Yeah.
like port or even like a maroon, burgundy, whatever you want to call it. It would be really good with, again, like the fox, like a brown or a more neutral color.
Or the Age4 Storm.
Or the Age Storm, exactly, which is just black. Okay, great. So we're gonna wrap up. Augment S1s, Augment Shirt 1, available now, shipping next week. Soon as you order it, it will be on the way. No pre-order. How much do they cost?
$195.
$195. Get yourself a high-end shirt to pair
Go
with
with-
your sweet
yes.
wardrobe.
I really insist that you pair this with something.
Yeah, you need to show off sometimes. Yeah, we will be back next week. We have some cool stuff coming your way in the coming weeks, so
We do.
stay tuned.
Yeah, if the augment line isn't your thing, we've got other stuff on the way. So
Got some other less augmented things coming your way. That doesn't mean anything, but all right, bye everybody.
bye.